Hi everyone, this is Lisa Blair coming to you from Santa Fe, New Mexico. I am a process-oriented facilitator and psychotherapist with an international women-centered private practice. And if you want to learn more about my work, you can visit my website at lisablairma.com. So in today's Therapy Under 5 extended version video, I would like to talk a bit about finding aspects of our essential nature, our core nature, and understanding how knowing about that part of ourselves or those parts of ourselves profoundly affects our mood, our daily inner atmosphere, our sense of wellness, and general happiness in life. So let me start by just posing a few questions to you and giving you a moment to kind of ponder. The first question would be, what makes you feel most alive in life? What makes you feel like you're thriving when you're doing it? It gives you a sense of being really happy, fulfilled, or maybe that you're operating on all cylinders. You're working and expressing yourself at your best, or maybe you feel really inspired or just whole and peaceful. Now that could be any number of things, and it's not about the activity, but if you imagine what those things or thing might be, let's say you're teaching in front of a group or performing in front of a large or small audience, or maybe you're having a really rich spiritual connection to the divine, or you are learning something new and you love doing that. So the activity itself is not what's most important. What I'm getting at is the part of you that is in that activity, right? The teacher, the performer, the learner, or maybe you're serving a community. So when you are acting in service, you feel most alive, connecting to the divine. Maybe you're creating something. Maybe you're a maker and you sculpt something, and that makes you feel most alive. So the focus is on what part of you is operating, what part of you is getting elicited in that experience of feeling like you're thriving or inspired or happy and fulfilled. That's what I mean when I say that we all have, say, 1 to 3-ish essential parts of our core nature, what we were born with. So for example, I know that one of my main parts of my core nature is being a creator and a maker. So I love getting lost in a creative flow, whether that's taking a picture or painting or writing and turning my ideas into reality. So being a creator and a maker, turning my ideas into reality is a very fulfilling experience for me. I have other aspects to me as well, but when that is getting to happen on a regular basis, I have a general feeling of wellness and fulfillment. Other people have other core essential parts of them. I was just speaking with a client recently who has the need to connect emotionally. Emotional intimacy in her relationships is a really core part of who she is. It also happens to be true for me as well. But for her, that's kind of a real, like, number one part of her essential nature is when she's connecting emotionally with people, when she's getting to express herself authentically and having that with another person, that just makes her whole life feel so much better, so much more fulfilled. I'm thinking of another client who has a very strong spiritual practice, and that profound expression and connection with the divine is so central to who she is that without that, generally things aren't going to feel well. So I'm already leading you into why this is so important to know this, say, 1 to 3 aspects of ourselves that are really core to who we are. Because if you find, I think this is very true for people who have regular kind of chronic depression or a mild chronic depression where life just kind of feels like, not so great, or or kind of down a lot or whatever. I think it can be also true for people with anxiety. If if life just doesn't seem so great, if life's kind of like, it's not really doing it for me, I'm not really feeling it, nothing's really going well, I'm having problems here and here and here, assuming there's not like very specific issues going on, challenges, problems that you're like, wow, I'm really having this trouble in my relationship. This is a big thing, or I'm really having this body thing, or whatever. Those can be happening too. But if there's an overall sense of lack of satisfaction, depression, downness, melancholy, right? Lack of fulfillment, then instead of focusing only or exclusively on what's wrong in my life, gosh, why am I feeling this way? Gosh, I get depressed and it's so hard. I'm just feeling down. And the focus tends to then be on that depression, that down state, what's wrong with me? Why is this happening? When a really important question at that moment could be, how's this part of your life going? In other words, that essential nature. How's your artistic and creative life going? Let's talk about that. What are you creating these days? Oh, nothing's really happening? Let's put some focus on that. Let's get you inspired again. Let's put your energy onto that part of your life rather than focusing on what's making you depressed and or anxious or other experiences. Or the question would be, how's emotional intimacy going in your life? Are you getting that need met? Let's talk about how you might get that need met. Or how's your connection with the divine, with spirit, with God, with the universe going? Does that need more nurturing? Does that need more time and attention? Are you in front of people performing? We're in a lockdown phase right now. A lot of people are in stay-at-home orders or quarantine, and maybe they're not getting to perform the way they have before when the world was open and people were going about their business, or they're not getting to teach. Can they do something online? Can they prepare for a performance in the future? The point being, you may be feeling down, depressed, or anxious, or other experiences, dissatisfied, because a certain part of your essential nature is not operating. It's not getting enough attention. And quickly shifting over to whatever that is for you and spending some time with that and nurturing and nourishing that part of you and that part of your life may seemingly miraculously shift that cloud away. I'm not saying this is true for all people in all circumstances, but it's worth thinking about. It's worth considering when you have a kind of dragged out depression, melancholia, that kind of experience. Ask yourself, where do I most thrive? Where do I most feel at my best and inspired? What part of me needs to be at play there? And then putting some time and focus and attention and nourishment on bringing that part back to life. So I just wanted to share that with you. And here's one tool that you can use to help potentially find that essential core part of your nature. It's by an author and well-known podcaster, Jonathan Fields, and he and his team came up with a free test online called Sparketype test. It's Sparketype, SparkeType.com. And it takes about 10 minutes. Like I said, it's free. And that runs you through a series of questions, and it comes up with your primary Sparketype and your shadow or secondary Sparketype. I think there are more sort of Sparketypes than these 10 that are offered. For example, what I said about needing emotional intimacy in your life or having a spiritual connection to the divine. I think those are 2, for example, that aren't on that list. So there may be others that you come up with, but I think it's a great list, and I think it can give you a place to start to find out, what is it in my core that really wants to be engaged here? And then from there, giving that more nourishment and seeing if that helps lift the doldrums away, lift that depressive tendency away, even take care of some of the anxiety that's happening for you. I hope this has been helpful. If it has in any way, please like this post and please share it with your community, because that's the best way to get the message out to help as most people as possible. Thank you so much for watching. Take care.